Let's start with a question I've been thinking about lately. When someone asks you what you do, what do you say? Do you call yourself a business owner? Do you say you're a founder, a CEO? Or do you lead with your role, like I'm a therapist or a photographer or I run a boutique or I'm a coach? For a lot of women in business, the words we use to describe ourselves can feel complicated because the truth is you wear all of those titles. You're the visionary, the operator, the marketer, and sometimes the intern too. And the title you choose often depends on who you're talking to. For me, I usually say I'm a marketing strategist or that I run a marketing agency called the Consistency Corner. Occasionally, I'll say I'm a founder, but usually it's strategist or agency owner because that's the lens I live every day. I've also had some people tell me that they call themselves an entrepreneur, which that's interesting because if I heard somebody say entrepreneur, like if they were introducing themselves that way, I would assume that means they run multiple businesses. I don't know why, but that's just where my brain goes. But that's what I want to talk about in today's episode is the lens or the label that I give myself of a marketing strategist or agency owner, because I want to talk about the difference between a social media manager, a strategist, and an agency, and how to figure out which one is right for you and your business if you're looking for support with social media. Because I've had so many founders that I've chatted with get frustrated or feel burned by social media support that wasn't the right fit. Not because the person wasn't talented, but because the expectations and the deliverables didn't match up. So let's clear the air and help you make confident, informed decisions about the kind of help you really need. Titles matter because they signal how we think, not just what we do. A CEO doesn't think the same way as a service provider. And in marketing, the difference between a manager, a strategist, and an agency comes down to perspective, ownership, and execution. So let's break that down a little bit. What does a social media manager do? They manage, meaning they execute a strategy that's already been created. They handle things like scheduling posts, writing captions, maybe responding to comments, managing community engagement, and pulling analytics reports. They're like boots on the ground, and they're the one making sure that the content goes out consistently. And often they are even creating the content. But here's the key. They don't usually define the strategy. They work within the strategy that you or your marketing lead provides. And this is where expectations often get kind of blurry. Many business owners hire a social media manager hoping they'll handle everything from messaging to market research to launches. And that's not within their scope. Social media managers are amazing at implementation, but not necessarily at brand positioning. And price-wise, social media managers can range from a few $100s a month for light support to several thousand for full-service multi-platform management, depending upon the number of posts, the frequency, the engagement level, amount of editing. It depends on so many things. And while their scope may include graphic design or repurposing video clips, even content capture may or may not be included, meaning like actually taking video for you. It's usually not included, but it's an additional cost that can often surprise people. So if you're thinking about outsourcing or hiring, ask up front, who is shooting the video content? Who is providing the images? What creative assets are included? And what does the business or business owner need to supply? Because no one likes discovering halfway through a contract that filming day wasn't part of the package, that they also still have to get their iPhone out and create some content. So now let's take it to the next level. What does a social media strategist do? The strategist builds the blueprint. They're focused on why we're creating content, not just what we're posting. They dive deep into audience psychology, messaging, positioning, and how your content supports your business goals, whether that's visibility, engagement, or conversion. A strategist might not post for you at all. Instead, they create the framework that either your team can follow or a social media manager can follow. Think of it like hiring an architect before you bring in the builder. Y'all, I love an analogy, and that one's so good. A strategist helps you clarify your brand voice and messaging, identify your content pillars and audience segments, build a launch-aligned content calendar, and measure results that actually matter for growth. Strategists often can charge a flat fee for a full plan or work on a retainer to support campaigns, typically in the $1,500 to $5,000 range, depending upon the depth and deliverables. Now, what is the difference between a social media strategist and a marketing strategist? This is the sweet spot that I really feel like, not to toot my own horn, but it's my zone of genius. So a marketing strategist is going to bring more of that CMO level perspective to your social media. They're going to ask the questions of, where does social media fit in the customer journey? Where does it fit in the marketing ecosystem? What happens when someone leaves social media? Where are we sending them to from social media? Is that funnel set up and complete? What channels are we using to bring people to your social media? And looking at the entire marketing ecosystem. With over a decade of marketing experience, including serving as a marketing director for a 9-figure brand, that's the perspective that I bring to conversations about social media. So when I'm building a strategy, it's not just about aesthetics or engagement. It's about connection and conversion that align with your larger business goals. And a social media strategist alone is going to expect you to already have those other marketing strategy questions answered so that they can do their job focused just on social media. So now, what does an agency do? An agency often blends both worlds, strategy plus management. So planning plus execution. You get the high level thinking of a strategist, whether it's a marketing strategist or a social media strategist, and the hands-on implementation of a management team. And this could include content creation, community engagement, reporting, campaign planning, all under one umbrella. It's full service, done for you marketing. Agencies vary widely. Some focus on one platform or one industry. Others, like the Consistency Corner, take a holistic approach, helping brands build consistent visibility across multiple channels, including social media, email, content marketing, and more. But here's something to know. Not all agencies will handle launches. Many charge extra for separate launch packages. We do include launches with our work for clients because they're part of how we help clients stay consistent and convert. And for me, like we talked about in last week's episode about launch planning, launches are so incredibly important in your overall campaign calendar and your marketing strategy. As your marketing partner, your strategic partner, I'm going to help my clients with their launch planning. I'm not going to say, well, tell me when your launch is all planned out and we'll get everything done for you. No. We're going to plan it together. Agencies are ideal for CEOs who want to step fully into their leadership role and let experts manage the day-to-day and the decision-making with strategy, execution, and analysis all in one place. So why do many business owners get stuck? Well, they hire a social media manager expecting a strategist's perspective, or they hire a strategist, but they still need somebody to do the management. And when roles blur, results suffer. Another point that causes friction is content creation expectations. If your manager or agency doesn't include photo or video capture, you'll either need to record yourself, hire a local creator, or invest in an ongoing content day package. And so it's important to ask those questions up front and also understand the agency or the creator that you're hiring. What do they specialize in? Do they specialize in short form video? Do they specialize in graphic design? Do they specialize in really striking copywriting? Can they do it all because they have a larger, more robust team? These are all questions to ask. And there's really no right answer because every business is going to need different types of content. And so you might want different levels of expertise depending upon, again, your business goals and your marketing strategy. They might also specialize in specific platforms such as Instagram or TikTok or Pinterest or LinkedIn. They might specialize by industry such as product-based or wellness or interior design or service providers. A niche provider can be powerful if your goals align with their specialty. But if you're looking for a multi-platform strategy or integrated campaigns or more general or strategic partner, might serve you better. So it's time to just think through those things before you make any outsourcing or hiring decisions. So how do you know which one is right for you? Here's 3 questions I want you to ask. Number 1, do I have clarity on my message and my goals? If not, please start with a strategist to create the roadmap. Number 2, do I have clarity but no time or capacity to execute? Well, at that point, we might need a manager or an agency for implementation support. And then question number 3, do I want to fully delegate my marketing and stay strategic. And this is where you're probably ready for an agency partnership. Now, a quick note. Some professionals wear multiple hats. There are social media managers who are also strategists. They handle both because the market understands the manager title better. So they label themselves as a social media manager, but they can provide social media strategy. And the way you'll know the difference is their pricing will usually reflect the deeper level of support. So please don't hire based just on title. Don't hire based just on price. Don't even hire based just on the quantity of content you think you need. Hire based on the gaps you need filled in to get the outcomes that you are looking for to move your business forward. And at the corner office, like I said, we build that bridge between strategy and execution. We don't just write captions or chase trends. We don't give you a set bank number of posts and say that's what you get. And we just copy paste cookie cutter AI crap. We partner with you like an extension of or leader of your marketing team, your CMO partner, not just a content team. And through our cornerstone strategy intensives, we build your messaging, your marketing strategy, and your campaign calendar. And then we have 3 different levels of our marketing retainers: done and directed, done and delivered, or done and driven, to give you a custom support system to implement the strategy we create together or that we create for you. So you can operate like the CEO of your business with a CMO at your side. So I want you to remember today, titles are powerful. And I want you to think about this and reflect on this in your own business of what title are you using for yourself and for what you do, and what titles are your customers using for who you are and what you do. These titles define how we show up and how others see us. So whether you call yourself a business owner, a founder, or a CEO, know that you deserve support that meets you at your level of leadership. When you understand what kind of help you're really looking for, whether it's a manager, a strategist, or an agency, you can now take control of your marketing with clarity and confidence and lighten your own mental load because you've got the right support carrying it for you. And if you're ready to feel that kind of support, to have strategy, have implementation, and partnership of it all working together, check out our service guide. It's linked in the show notes, and it'll walk you through how we combine CMO-level strategy and done-for-you execution so you can focus on running your business, not running your social media. Because the right support doesn't just help you post consistently. It helps you show up as the CEO you already are and lighten your mental load and give you back capacity so that you can do the things that you're meant to do in your zone of genius. Thank you so much for listening, my friend. I cannot wait to see you next week in our next episode. And I want to hear from you. Send me a DM on Instagram and talk to me a little bit about what you call yourself. I want to know, is it CEO? Is it founder? Is it entrepreneur? Is it the title of whatever it is you do in your niche? How do you introduce yourselves to others and why? Let's chat about it. Thank you again for being here, and we will see you in the next episode.